Well, Kalimera viewers and watchers of Rudgy aka the Doctor. Today you find me on the road that runs above the airport. As you can see, it's down there. And for once, there is no traffic to cause an outtake. So it'll be me that cocks this up. Anyway, in the distance over there you can see a nice super yacht with its chase boat in tow. Two yachts. I reckon the yachts are probably making about 5 knots. I've been trying to sit here and work that out. Beautiful day to be alive. As you can see, the airport's as busy as ever. We've got one easy jet in. No, it actually has broken records apparently this year, the airport here. Yeah. So, it's a bit of a sad day today. This video is in memory of my ex-brother-in-law. It's a long story. He was brother-in-law because he was my friend and we both married into the same family, and that's how we became brother-in-laws. Yeah, sort of a kindred spirit really. We were always winding each other up and everybody else. Practical jokes galore. We rode together. We did all sorts of things. And I miss him. It's been a while now. I think it was 2016 when he died, something like that. It's a long story. I won't go into that now. But yeah, he's riding with me in the Black Pearl today. I'm sure he would be immensely proud of some of the things I've achieved. So this is for you, Kev. So, I'm not going to tell you where we're going because I don't know myself. Right, I think what we're going to do with this video is you're going to have to guess where I am now, those of you who like kefalonia. There we go, that's the road. There's a clue. There's a very nice restaurant and a very nice cafe up there and a castle. Where am I? That's a bit more of a tricky one for you. Give you your bearings. That's Mount Enyas. Any idea where I am now? Okay, I'm sort of liking this game. I think I might do it again. So, where do you think I'm headed? I mean, it'll probably say in the description where I've been, but just at this moment in time, there's the mountain. Where do you think I'm headed? Answers on a postcard or in the description, but that'll be a bit late, won't it? Anyway, well, there's an easy one for people who know the island. For those of you who don't, you're about to find out where we're off to. I apologise before we set out about the wind noise. There's never much I can do about that. I'll try and edit out the bad bits. Where we're off to now. Well, this is only part of the journey. where I was inspired to buy this bike. This guy turned up on a blue 750. Bit of a treat for me, I don't very often come here, so I think I might have some breakfast. That's one of the better coffees I've had. I'll let you know when I've drunk it. The young lad who served me likes the bike, so it seems like a good place to come. Not many tourists, I love that. I know I probably shouldn't be saying that, but there you go. So there's lunch. I'll film the cafe in a minute so you know where to find it. I'm going to get on with my lunch now. Don't know whether you can see that out there, but there's a power cap, I think it is. So there you go, for your bearings. And that's the place we've just eaten at and had a coffee. And they're open all year round, so that's a good thing to think about if you live here or if you spend a lot of time here, as I indeed do. So let's have a walk up the beach now, see what's going on. The power cat's in. Now, this is a question I've asked before, but the beaches on Kefalonia seem to be shrinking. I remember this one being much bigger. I don't know whether it's the time of year, whether it's to do with the barometric pressure, or what, but they do seem to have shrunk somewhat. I mean, those of you who know Katelios will probably be able to answer that. I know occasionally we have storms blowing and that moves the sand around. We get that in the UK, but of course we're tidal in the UK. Tidal reach here, you're lucky if you get about 8 inches, I think. So yeah, this is the beach. I don't think I've actually done this before. I've just ridden around it on the bike or in the car. There are a couple of tavernas down at this end. This time of year I find it very pleasant. It doesn't seem to get mobbed like a lot of other places. It gets busy in the summer, but I wouldn't class it as being mobbed. It's a very popular place to come. I think the tavernas get pretty packed out in the height of the season in the evening. And of course, when we get a storm, this beach does suffer from the seaweed. However, they do try and clear it up, so. And usually, just here, there are boats for hire. I don't know whether he was doing that this year or not, but that's what usually happens. Due to COVID, a lot of things have changed, which is why I'm running some of these videos again so that people know how they've changed. Anyway, let's have a wander up the other end of the beach. So for those of you who may be watching this video at a later date than it was intended to be watched, it's October the 17th, 2022. So if some of you come here regular and are a bit shocked at how empty the place is, it's the end of the season really for Katelios. They've worked quite hard all season and I suppose they've made the money and decided to close. However, the place I've just been is open all year. There are more beaches up along there on the way to Scala and Poros. The mountain road actually goes up and round and over the back of that valley there, and then you end up in Scala. Next port of call then would be Poros, which I've done on quite a few videos on this channel now. I know a lot of you are probably saying, what's happened to all the tavernas? Oh dear. I actually like the peace and quiet that brings. I think Katelios really hasn't changed very much in all the years I've been coming. It's always had lots of beachfront tavernas. Can be quite romantic at the right time of year. Bring the right person with you. Like I say, you have to pick the time of year because it does get quite busy. Little marina over the back there. Take a look at that. There you go, Pat Burkett. There's a real Shirley Valentine. There we go. I've walked up to, I suppose you'd call it the harbour quayside at Katelios. It does seem to be pretty sheltered here. I think that boat's in all year round, so it can't be that bad. But pretty shallow, nevertheless. Ideal for somebody like me who likes the motorboats. Let's have a wander around the back, shall we? There's an appropriate boat name for this video and this day in particular. So here we go. That's the street through the front of Katelios, and there's the beach and the harbour. We're going to walk around the back now, have a look at some of the accommodation, see what's going on. Yeah, this is. So here you go, this is what's around the back. So if you get offered accommodation and it looks like it's out the back, this might be a useful video. There's the beach road. Looks like they're getting ready to build something over there. Look at that, fresh oranges. Just pick them off the tree. I always remember when I first came to Kefalonia, I just couldn't believe that you could walk down to the beach picking oranges, limes, peaches, you name it. There's loads of it hanging over the edge of fences, and you don't get so much of that now because they've built a lot of houses, but there's still places where that happens. As in there, look, see? Now that, if I'm not mistaken, I've forgotten the name of this fruit, but apparently it's very, very sweet. It's a bit like a fig to eat, apparently, consistency-wise. The only reason I know that is because they've got some in a property I've been looking at to rent. Some chickens there, look. Hello, girls. Yeah. Yeah. So there's another apartment block. If you take a note of the name, you could ring them, I guess. There's the beach. See, limes growing there. A few sheep and some goats over the back there. Another apartment block. That's fairly new. I don't remember seeing that being built. But then again, I don't come here that often, so. Another apartment block there. Now this place here, me and a friend of mine were going to become business partners and buy something for me to live in and rent out in the summer. I was going to live on a boat in the summer, maybe charter it and rent the property out. And we were going to have a look at this, but he didn't think it was going to be worth letting out. I think it will certainly make a very nice home. They've cleaned it up a little bit. It was a bit overgrown. There you go, another load of studios here. So, if I were you and you're struggling for a holiday, I'd get onto EasyJet, Ryanair, TUI, get accounts with them. Doesn't cost anything to do that. And I'd do what I used to do, which is look up these numbers, give the people a ring. Most of them speak English, and the ones that don't will get back to you if you leave a message. And see if you can rent an apartment independently and fly independently. It makes it so much cheaper. And there's some lemons growing there, look, on the side of the road. Just like that. Yeah, make your lemonade out of that. Some lovely roses. So now we're on the road into Katelios. And there's a taverna just up there, or more of a cafe bar really, I suppose. And then you've got a supermarket, and then the British supermarket is just next door to that. And if ever you're stuck for tea bags or sauce or anything you would normally get in the UK, they've usually got it. You do end up having to pay a premium. I'll warn you about that. Some of the stuff ain't cheap, but where else are you going to get it? So there you go. So that's Katelios for you. I think you'll agree. Very nice place, but then I don't think there's a bad part of this island. They're on buyers. Like I say, usually all these are open, all these tavernas. Right, Right, so I thought I got just enough time to take you somewhere else. You're going to have to guess where we're going. I think this will be fairly easy, but for those of you who know the island, it will be very easy. Anyway, onward and upward. Have you guessed yet? So here we go. I'm having a bit of fun with this. Now, this is going to be so obvious to people who know. Where am I? Even so, I think if you're getting where we are, you'll still agree that it's such a beautiful place. Now, this is something that used to confuse me. You got Zakynthos over there, and in that direction you can see the mainland. Peloponnese are over there. I mean, imagine owning that place there. Wow. You know, just wow. Oh, man alive. If only I'd won the lottery. But I haven't, so onward and upward. So there we go, there's another clue. And I'll quickly go around there so you can't see the road signs. There's what's behind me for your bearings. We have now got sea over there, sea in that direction, and sea in that direction. Where could I be? Ta-da! As if by magic, we're suddenly in Scala. Now, Scala's not one of my favourite places on the island, I have to say. It's not for everybody. It's a bit commercialised, but there is a lovely beach down there, as you can see, which goes for miles down that way and miles down that way. Unfortunately, there's a lot of four-poster beds on it, and funnily enough, there's one place down there, I think it's a hotel, and they've got a massive, and I mean massive, Olympic-sized swimming pool. The road's the same width as this, the hotel's there, the beach is there, and people are sitting by the pool. Huh? So if you're one of those people, maybe you'd like to explain to me why you do that, because I don't understand. You can get that holiday anywhere you like, and probably a bit cheaper. But it's not really what I think Kefalonia is about. But that's just my opinion, and we're all entitled to our opinions. That's the trouble with the world today. They're trying to make it so that we're not entitled to our opinions, free speech and all that. Anyway, we won't get on a political soapbox, because that's not what my site's about. I thought I'd show you what Skala's like out of season. Of course, we're in October now, and they've all decided there weren't enough money, so they've closed up. You used to be able to drive through here, but recently they closed that. It's caused chaos this summer. Probably a good thing. It does get very busy in the summer for tourists and what have you. So cars coming and going probably isn't the best of ideas. Here you go, all you Skala fans. This is the main street, famously. Some of you have probably never seen it this quiet. I was hoping there'd be a couple of gift shops open at the very least, so I could buy a new baseball cap, because I lost my cap and my rucksack the other day off the back of the bike. Inevitable at some point, I suppose. But yeah, there you go. There's one or two little shops open, but generally not very much. There you go, absolutely nothing open apart from the odd taverna. Little map over here of Scala, I'll show you that. Might be useful for those of you who've never been. There you go. You might be able to zoom into that on your videos. I don't know how you're watching this. We are about here somewhere. As you can see, the beach is huge. Something to remember, the beach is east facing. So those of you who are into that sort of thing will be able to work out when you're going to get the best of the sunshine. So let's get back to the bike. There's something you don't see very often now. I think that's the 125 because they were mostly silver. Sure, somebody will correct me. TW Trailway. Now, God, nearly 30 years ago when they were new, I used to rent off Alexander Castagnart at Sunbird the 200 TW Yamaha, and I used to go for miles on it. I mean, back then we didn't really, during the war, Grandad, I can hear you all shouting it, don't worry. Yeah, back then there weren't really, the roads were very poor out here, mostly gravel, some concrete. You were lucky if you had a tarmac road, and those things were absolutely ideal. Like the Range Rover of the bike world, they'd do a tarmac road reasonably well, make a bit of a noise because of the tyres, but they came into their own on loose stuff. Really good fun. Yeah, I got fond memories of them. Bit uncomfortable when you've been in a saddle all day, which is what I tended to do. I'd go out 10 o'clock, come back when it was dark, you know. Good fun though, good times. Right, so I was telling you about the roads out here and how poor they were back in the day, and that's why I used to have a 200 Trailway. Well, and here comes some traffic, so you could put me anywhere, couldn't you? And there'll be traffic. Traffic. That's why I do the filming that out this way this time of year, because it's quiet. Start again. Oh, and here we go again, look. Rush hour. Now, I don't condone that sort of behaviour, but fair play to him. And if you're watching this, you're in the outtakes. Right, let's start again. So, as I was saying a minute ago about the roads being so poor, and back in the day I used to have a Trailway 200, and that was why. Well, I remember this bit of road here being cut out the mountainside, and literally for a few years this was all you had. Yeah, boulders that size in the middle of the road, imagine that. And I brought my Harley famously with its ape hangers and its loud pipes all the way along this road. Now, the original track used to go along the back there and come out round that corner down there, and it was all pretty much just a goat track back then that a few cars had made it along, and that's how you used to go from Poros to Scala, a more direct route, because I'll show you the other route in a minute. You go up over the back of the mountain, that's the main road, and that's always been there. But even that back in the day was this sort of surface, and then it'd get a concrete, and then it'd go back to this, and then sometimes there was tarmac. But yeah, I remember them cutting all this out. Been here a few years now, I'd say probably 25 years, maybe a bit longer, since they did this. But for a good while it was just gravel until they tarmacked it. Get some nice views if you can be bothered to stop and have a look. Now, this is the confusing thing. Zakynthos is around there. We're actually now looking at the mainland over there. Peloponnese and all that, and Kalini, all that area. That's where the ferry goes to. And that headland there that you can see sticking out is the start of the port of Poros. So we'll head down there and have a look at that. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. And like I was saying, back in the day when you came out of Scala, you had to look for, I think there was 2 olive trees and then one on its own, and you had to go up the goat track that went between that. If you went the other one, you ended up in the middle of nowhere, which I'd done on a couple of occasions. But then it opened up into more of a bit of a road really that was gravelled, a bit like that over there actually. You see that little track there? It was a bit like that, all the way to Poros, in the days when it took a long time to get there. I'd be out all day doing this sort of stuff, whereas now, I don't know, it's an hour at the most from where I live, and that's if you go the long way around, I reckon. So yeah, let's get on the bike and crack on. And there you go, with the magic of television, we are now in the port of Poros. It's not quite so sunny because there is a big mountain there and the sun's about to go behind it. So this time of day, this part of the port loses the sunshine. The beach has still got a bit of it there, look. The beach is up over that end. Okay. Ferry from the mainland comes in there, and incidentally, there's the mainland. You can see it over there. I'm not quite sure where Kalini is. I'll have to look that up. Peloponnese are out that way. I would love, actually, when I get a bit better off, maybe when my pension starts to kick in, my state pension, because I won't get nothing else, I would like to get the bike and maybe use Kefalonia as a base and go travelling over there, catch the ferry to the mainland and then maybe a ferry to another island. I'd like to do the 7 Ionian Islands, there are 7 of them. So that'd be a good start. That'd make some good videos, wouldn't it? Leave your comments below about that and how you think I might achieve that financially, because I ain't got a clue. I'm winging it now. But anyway, yeah, this is the port of Poros. As you can see, this time of year, at this time of day, the sun does go over the back, so it gets a bit chilly out, the sunshine. Now, those of you who have seen videos of a place that's in like a cave, with a yachty sort of theme to it, well, pirate ship theme to it, I should say. That's it there. Now, I can highly recommend that. The food is cheap and of good quality. The coffee's good. The girls that serve you are very friendly. And it's one of Pat Burkett's favourite places. Although she did only come for the first time last year, but she suddenly fell in love with a few places and I'll have to take her there. Hopefully it'll still be open. She's here in a couple of days' time. So there you go, Cafe Bar Marezzo. And incidentally, those of you who saw the video when I lost the number plate off the bike, this is where I'd been for the day. I thought the port police had took it, but I've heard nothing, so I don't think they had. So there we are, Poros. Okay, so that was the mystery tour in honour of my brother-in-law Kev. Thanks for watching, thanks for joining us. I'm going to finish the video here. Some of you who know the island will recognise that there, because about 30 years ago this road here, which is the main road through to the port of Poros, was gravel, and I can prove that because there's a photograph of me sat on the bike just about there. I can't obviously completely replicate the photo, because I haven't got anybody to hold the camera. But I'm sat on a trailway looking back towards the camera, and that down there is Katelios. I'll see if I can find a picture and post it so you can compare the two things and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, there's been a lot of changes down there. I don't think half of those buildings are on the photograph I've taken. Anyway, there's the main road to Poros. We're on the way to Argostoli. Thanks ever so much for watching. Hit like, share, tag, follow and subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon. So, hello YouTubers, and so over there you can see what must be 100 foot of yacht and its chase boat. They came in from that direction and they've turned round, so I think they must be looking for somewhere to anchor up. And down there, 2 yachts doing about 5 knots. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. I lost my brother-in-law, who was originally one of my best friends. We married into the same family and both ended up getting divorced from the same family. He died around 2016, I think. It's a long story, I won't go into that now. But I miss him every day, and he would be so proud of some of the things I've achieved over the last few years with the boats and moving here. He was always a big inspiration, and funnily enough, he was always the sensible one out of the two of us. His bikes were always perfectly legal, squeaky clean, and ran perfectly. Mine was held together with bits of sellotape and a wing and a prayer. He was always pulling me out of edges. So for him to go before me, I felt was dreadfully unfair, but that's life. So, word of wisdom from the Rudge: if you've got somebody you love and you haven't spoken to them for a while, ring them up. Don't bear grudges too long and live like it's your first time. So, here we go. I said live like it's your first time, didn't I? Cut. If you've only just joined the site, then please like, share, subscribe, all those things. You'll get used to the traffic going by me. It's one of the pains of my life. There's lots of outcuts through that. About all I can tell you really about this place. I've not researched it, but then again I never research anything, do I?